The People First podcast is a show presented by people with learning disabilities for our friends and community. We talk about issues that are important to us and interview interesting people to find out the information. This is our way to make a difference and have our voices heard.
Hello and welcome to the People First podcast. Today we are interviewing Edith, who is joining us today from Bradford Council to talk about recycling and waste. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoy being on the show.
Could you explain your job role, please?
Well, Oliver, my job is the recycling manager at Bradford Council. It's a varied job. I have lots of things to do. I have 4 staff that go out and speak to people and encourage people about recycling. They go out every day, even in the cold, like it is today. They go out in the cold and they visit people, knock on people's doors, talk to them about recycling and how to manage the waste. Also, yesterday, they were at a school, so we go to lots of schools as well to teach young people how to recycle and the importance of recycling and reducing the waste.
Can you explain why it's important to sort out recycling correctly?
Well, we provide Bradford Council residents 2 bins. 1 bin for the green domestic bin, and when we say domestic bin, that's for non-recyclable items that can't be recycled. And we provide another bin, a grey bin, for all those items that can be recycled. It's really important that people segregate the waste, put recycling in 1 bin and all the rest of the non-recyclable in the other bin. It's really important because it saves the environment, saves resources, important resources, and it's easy to do. It's not difficult to do. Once you know what to put in the right bins, it's easy. All the waste that goes in the green bin, it's heavy and it has to be taken to energy from waste plant to be made into electricity. But all the other items that are recycled can be made into items over and over again. So it's easy to do, and it's important for all of us to take responsibility and recycle as much as they can. But not just recycle, but to try and reduce the waste as well.
How does Bradford Council make sure that recycling information is easy to understand for everyone?
Right, okay. Well, we have leaflets that we give to people. We've also got a web page as well that people can get onto. It's www.bradford.com/recycling, and if people go on there, they can find out what they can and can't recycle and what goes in the bins, and also where to take items, big items, to the local household waste tips as well, or the recycling centres. But we try and make the leaflets easy for everybody to understand, because we know that not everybody has English as a first language, so we try and make it. We have pictures of the bins on the leaflets and all the pictures of items that go in the correct bins. So we try and make it as easy as possible. And we also have stickers on the bins as well that we can put stickers on so people know which bin is the right bin.
Do you have braille for blind people?
For blind people, yeah. If people are blind and they get in touch with us, we don't have braille as such, but I know it must be difficult for people who are not able to see. But I think there's something now, if people are disabled, then there is something on their computers that will help them with it anyway. It speaks out as well. Hearing impaired. Yeah, it must be difficult, I accept that. But if people, if you ask somebody, then they'll be able to tell you what you can. But I do appreciate it's difficult for people.
What are some common mistakes people make when recycling, and how can they avoid them?
Well, we all make mistakes when we're recycling. It's easy to do because if you say we recycle plastic, there's an awful lot of plastic. Nearly everything's made out of plastics. But we want people to recycle the plastic bottles. So anything that pours at all, like shampoo bottles, cleaning bottles, milk bottles, we want people to put them in the recycle bin. A lot of people put plastic bags in the recycle bin, but we don't want the plastic bags. We just want the items that we know we've got an end market for those items to go. We can put yoghurt pots and margarine tubs in now. We don't ask for them to be clean, but we just ask them if they're free from food, so it's easier for when they get to the processors. But people try. We know that people try and do the best, and there are common mistakes that people make. But if they follow the stickers on the bins or they look on the website, it'll tell them clearly what they can put on there, like plastic bottles, cans, paper, cardboard, yoghurt pots, margarine tubs. There's an awful lot that can go in your recycle bin. And we know that people want to put a lot more items in there, but unfortunately we can't recycle everything. So if you just follow what we ask you for to do, then it'll be easy for us all.
Do you have any advice for how office should oppose recycling?
Well, I'm sure you recycle already. As an office, but what we do in our office, we have a bin, 2 bins, one for recycling and one for waste that's non-recyclable. So if any sandwiches or any half-eaten sandwiches, we put it in the bin that's non-recyclable, and the other bin, like we put the milk bottles or the drinks cans that people have at lunchtime, and any paper, we recycle the paper as well. It all goes in that recycle bin. So hopefully you guys do that. And if you can't recycle it here, then take it home and then put it in your recycle bin at home. But I'm sure you've got a recycle bin in the office.
We do, but something can't, some packaging didn't say. Some do.
Exactly. This is why it's difficult when people look at the packaging, and sometimes it says it's recyclable, but it's not. It's what we can take at Bradford Council, what we can ask you to put in our grey recycle bin, is because we know that item that you put in there, we are going to recycle. We will recycle it. It will be sorted and it'll be sent to a merchant who will reprocess it and make something else of it. That's if people don't contaminate the bin. That's a problem that we have. People put things in there, in their grey bin, that's not recyclable, and it has to be sorted out. But it costs a lot of money to sort that waste out as well. So if we put the right in the first place, then it wouldn't cost us as much.
What about bottle tops?
Bottle tops. Bottle tops, you can leave them on your plastic bottles. Leave them there. Just make sure when you've got all the liquid out of it, put the top back on and then put it in your recycle bin, and we will deal with that.
How can people in Keighley and Bradford get involved in making a difference with recycling?
People can make a difference by having the 2 bins, because 1 week we come for the green domestic bin, the non-recycle bin, and the second week we come for the grey recycle bin. Well, the people of Bradford and Keighley, we can't do it on our own. We need the collaboration and the help from all residents to make sure that the grey recycle bin that they put out each week contains only recycling. just follow the stickers, just find out what you can recycle and just put it in there. So it's up to everybody to do the best to make sure, because it costs a lot more money for the green bin, all the non-recyclable waste to be processed, than it does for the recycling bin. So it's in all our, it's up to us all to make the best and do what we can to recycle all they can. And not just recycle, reduce the waste, because Bradford Council have a lot of waste to deal with, even though we don't produce any of it. The big companies produce it, packaging and things like that. We are left to remove this waste. So it's up to everybody to try and best to reduce the waste, buy only items that's not got a lot of packaging on, or try and convince people to not put as much packaging on.
How much does cycling help their development, and what difference does it make in Bradford?
It saves on energy and it saves on valuable resources. And by valuable resources, I mean by iron ore, which cans are made from, aluminium, all these things that take a lot of money and a lot of resources and a lot of energy to actually mine these things and make items out of it. So it's really important that we have to try and help our environment, the world we live in. Don't we really? And I'm sure all you guys know that already.
I saw it on my Facebook.
Did you see that on Facebook? Yes, it is. It's very important. We do this, and we don't discard our waste anywhere, because we've all know what happens when waste is discarded on the streets and things. It makes it look a horrible place for us to live in, doesn't it? It's untidy. If we make sure people put things in the right bins, then it can be dealt with and looked after, and any waste and not escaping and not going in the sea or anything like that. So it's really important we all try and look after the world we live in and the areas that we live in and the districts of like Bradford and Keighley, and keep this area clean and tidy.
Do Bradford Council have any future plans around recycling that you can talk to us about?
Yes, I can, Alex, because probably not this year, but probably the latter part of next year, Bradford Council be introducing a food waste collection. So we will be providing people with small caddies, and we'll ask you to put any food that you've got left over, any vegetable peeling, tea bags, or any food, or that pizza that you couldn't eat, to put in a bin, and we will collect it weekly. When it's all collected up, it will be taken to an anaerobic digestion plant where it will be turned into electricity. It's to help our recycling figures, but we're having to do this as well. Businesses are having to do this next year in 2020, in 2025, and in 2026, or the later part of 2025, 2026 will be providing you guys and everybody in Bradford, Ilkley, all the surrounding districts, Keighley, with the caddy. And we're hopefully that people will take this on board and separate again the food waste. Instead of putting it in your green bin, your recycle bin, separate it out and put it in this small caddy. Hopefully everybody will get involved in it and start doing that. But it's not in the next few months. It's probably in the latter part of 2025 and possibly, it will be 2026. Something new.
My dad also gets pot to take in a black sand.
Yeah.
To put in a cardboard, like egg salve and everything.
Yes.
Vegetables to cut or throw in a pot.
Yes, I compost at home, but I don't put cooked food waste in. I put my vegetable peelings and I put bits of cardboard, bits of paper, and it makes fabulous compost. I've put some leaves in this year as well, just to add to it, and that will make compost, which we put in our garden. It saves me put it in the bin. It stops me going in the bin, but at least it's going to make some what people call black gold, and it's free because I've made it into compost and it's free to put in my garden. So it's everybody to think about what they can do to help, and that's helping the environment as well. It's helping my environment.
What is your favourite part about working at Bradford Council recycling and contact management?
Well, I can tell you, because I love my job. I should have retired, but I haven't. I love it so much. I love coming to speak to people like you guys. I love working with the people I work with. They're so funny. They make me laugh every day. There's some really good people that work at Bradford Council, some committed people. I need to retire, but maybe not just this week. I'm so glad to be here, and it's been great to talk to you guys. This is the good part of my job. The brilliant part of my job. The environment and waste is just one of the best jobs to go into. So interesting.
How can people keep up to date with any news, information about recycling in our area?
Right, so what I need you guys to do, I need you to go on our website when you've got time. It's www.bradford.org/recycling. Have a look on those pages. It's going to give you lots of information of what you can and can't recycle, and where they are also waste sites. So that's how we ask people. We use Twitter. We use social media as well. It attracts some very funny comments sometimes, but still we like to encourage people's comments. We're always interested in what people think of our service. But please, if you just want to find out more, there's you can go on www.recyclemore as well, and it tells you all sorts about recycling. It gives you things to do as well. If you just put information, you want any information, that www.recyclemore is a great site to go on. Brilliant site. And I would encourage you to have a look at it as well, if you get the chance.
That brings it to the end of our show today. We'd like to say a big thank you again to Edith for joining us today. We hope that everyone listening has learned more about recycling. Why is it important, and maybe even pick some tips and tips to help your recycling in the future. Edith, do you have anything you would like to add before we end the show?
I would. I'd like to thank you all for inviting me. It's been great. It's been great to come out of the office. It's a beautiful day, and it's lovely to meet some beautiful people. And if I can ever help again, I'd love to come back.
Remember to comment, like and share on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. You can find us by searching for the People First podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.